Disney movies, in general, have a rather notorious history of being accused of racism, being anti-Semitic, and having sexist depictions, which isn't especially shocking for a studio founded in the 1920s. For this video, however, we're going to focus on probably the most controversial film in terms of race from the so-called Disney Renaissance period of the fairly recent and relatively liberal 1990s. That is Aladdin, released in 1992, 3 years before Disney released a film widely acclaimed for its racial sensitivity and less acclaimed for being a good movie. Let's start at the beginning with the opening song of Aladdin.
I come from a land, from a faraway place, where the caravan camels roam. Where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home.
This is the only part of the movie that Disney might as well have admitted, and practically did, that, yeah, that's kind of racist. Being that they altered the offending lyrics for the home video release.
Oh, I come from a land, from a faraway place, where the caravan camels roam. Where it's flat and immense and the heat is intense. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home.
Well, they altered some of the offending lines. They kept the barbaric part, and thus kept the controversy alive too. The American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee, whose protests led to Disney's alteration, continued to protest the keeping of the barbaric phrase, as well as other parts of the film. Such as this scene, where a merchant tries to cut off Jasmine's hand for stealing, is left in the film.
Do you know what the penalty is for stealing?
No!
Or this scene.
I'll have your hands for a trophy, street rat!
So what was the point of axing the "I'll cut off your ear" line? Lyrical depiction of maiming retribution isn't worse than its visual depiction, right? Besides, the altered lyrics are only less offensive, if they are at all, in that they locate the barbarism, meaning uncivilized and primitive, in the geography and landscape instead of the people. Which begs the question, where is the movie Aladdin set exactly? The fictional Agrabah is both a magical place of indeterminate place and time, but it's also a representation of the Orient, or rather, the West imagined idea of a magical East. A la Edward Said's book Orientalism. So, Aladdin features the same Orientalism of an exotic and often magical, sexualized, and barbaric, faraway place that is also implicitly or explicitly inferior to the civilized West, with its colonial empires dominating the Orient. This extends to the barbaric geography of vast deserts interspersed by oases and small kingdoms. The texts that Aladdin is based on are themselves a product of colonialism. Originally, Aladdin may have been Chinese and the setting somewhere in China, but regardless, Disney has stated that the characters in this movie are Arab, and there's a lot of desert that one may associate with much of the Arab world. Plus, when Aladdin and Jasmine go on their Superman and Lois Lane magical carpet ride, they travel to places presumably exotic to them, namely ancient Egypt, where the Sphinx is apparently still being chiseled, to the Parthenon in Greece, to Tang Dynasty China, to witness the invention of fireworks, maybe.
You are Superman.
You are the boy from the market. I knew it.
Come on, Jasmine, you met him in a different outfit just the other day.
I want to thank you for stopping that man.
Forget it.
Besides this providing that the magic carpet is also a time machine, which presumably explains where the genie got all the references that he wastes on Aladdin, it also suggests that Aladdin's fictional home of Agrabah is not in Egypt, Greece, or China. But Agrabah is probably in a mystical India, Pakistan, or maybe part Persia. Look at the stereotypical clothes, some of the names, the pet tiger. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's just take Disney at their word for a moment, that they offered positive portrayals of Arab characters like Aladdin and Jasmine. Criticisms of the film along these lines seem to focus on the supposed Anglo features of Aladdin and or Jasmine in contrast to the supposed Arab or racially derogatory features of the villainous and minor characters. According to Roger Ebert, one distraction during the film was its odd use of ethnic stereotypes. Most of the Arab characters have exaggerated facial characteristics, hooked noses, glowering brows, thick lips, but Aladdin and the princess look like white American teenagers. Actually, Aladdin is said to have been drawn based on the features of Tom Cruise. For all of Tom Cruise's outstanding features, being a positive representation of Arabs is not one of them. Meanwhile, Jasmine is dressed like a belly dancer more so than a princess. When Jafar, Jabba the Hutt's the princess, he mostly just changes her costume to red instead of blue. No need to change Jasmine's outfit when it already screams sex slave. As for Jafar and Jasmine's father, the Sultan, they seem to be drawn straight from their counterparts in the 1940 film The Thief of Baghdad, another Hollywood nugget of Orientalism.
Anything you will.
Your daughter.
My daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Dear, dear, dear. Really, this is very awkward.
So instead of characters representing positive portrayals of Arabs, Aladdin offers representations of Western actors made to supposedly look Arab, a belly dancer princess and minor Arab characters with the stereotypical features of cartoon bad guys and/or comic relief, much of which may be based on racial stereotypes. One character that can't be claimed to be an offensive representation of any ethnicity or gender, however, is the genie.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
Part of the reason that Disney has run into problems with racial representation is because Disney has long practiced a brand of animation based on realism. Techniques such as rotoscoping have been used to try to make animated characters look and act more like real people. The genie in Aladdin, on the other hand, is part of an animation tradition of transmogrification or shapeshifting. The genie doesn't represent anyone and is a depiction of no one. He changes his performance of race, gender, sexual orientation, and even species, or between being a subject or an object at whim, and his natural or usual state is of a cartoonish blue guy. As voiced by Robin Williams, he's also the best part of the movie. Perhaps the main problem some people have with the question of is Aladdin racist is that they genuinely enjoy the movie. Plus, who wants to believe that we're feeding our children racist garbage? This gets to the ages-old debate of aesthetics over whether a piece of art must be morally good or aesthetically pleasing. Unfortunately, the representations of Arabs in the Orient in 1992's Aladdin are arguably more flattering than the media representation of the Arab world post 9/11 and the War on Terror.
They are shooting people over a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad.
So is America's brand of Orientalism becoming more distorted and violent the more involved the nation becomes militarily and politically in the Middle East? Just look at the results of this poll about whether or not we should bomb the city of Agrabah. So what do you guys think? Is Aladdin really racist? Tell us what you think in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, if you have any movies you'd like us to do for our Is It Racist videos, please let us know.